Okay, for this one here, I go back to my y equals, and this time I put in a x cubed graph, and I plugged in of x cubed plus 2x squared plus 4. And you'll see what happens actually if I graph this. It ends up being, you can only see one root, and we know that there are three. In fact, there are three roots here. So two of them must be imaginary. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to an application here. So I go to apps. Okay, and if I go to apps, I'm going to scroll down to this one here. Okay, polynomials. I'll go to this program here, number 4. I don't know what number it is on yours. It's a polynomial root finder and equation solver, but I'm going to go to use the root finder portion, and I click on number 1. I want to find a root. Perfect. And okay. It asked me a couple questions. First thing it's going to ask me is what degree is it? Well, you can see here that this is actually a degree 3. And so I don't want it to be on 4. I want to highlight 3, and I'm going to just hit enter there. The second thing is it asks me, is it a real root or imaginary? Well, first thing I'm going to do is let's find the real roots. And so I'm going to click on real and hit enter. And it asks me, do I want it in a decimal or fraction? I'll pick fraction. And the rest of this should be okay. I'm going to go to next, which is the graph here. And now it asks me to input my numbers. Well, from here, I can see that x cubed was 1. I can see that x2 was 2. I can see that x1 was 0. There wasn't 1. And x0 was 4. And so those are my numbers. It's just the coefficients in front here, and they're just asking to read those. And so I go like this, and then I hit solve. It's going to tell me, oh, my x is equal to negative 2.59, so it's giving me something around here, which looks like about 2.5. Right here would be my root. That's my real root. If I want to go back, and I'm going to go back to, I'm just going to quit this here, and second function quit. And I'm going to go back to my root finder here. But instead of finding a real root, I'm going to go down here and find the imaginary. Okay, we don't have to worry about this. This is like a polar coordinate. Ignore this right now. We're just going to find our imaginary one, which is written in this form. I'm going to go to next. Lucky for me, it's still stored my polynomial, so I can just hit solve. When I do that, it's giving me the roots here. And what it does is it gives me the real root, the one we had before, but it also gives me these two here, and it says plus something and minus something. And again, you'll remember that's under the radical. And so it gave me two other roots here beyond that. And so it's giving me this one, which doesn't have an imaginary component, and these two. And so you get both of those there, just to kind of see what this would look like. Of course, this is multiplied by I there, but you can end up getting something like that. But just a quick little review of how to find polynomials when you work on these.